Welcome everyone. Welcome to Pakistan Dynamics 365 and Power Platform community. This is our sort of monthly online meeting, and today our guest speaker is Michael Wacog. Michael has joined us from United States, and Michael works in Microsoft and exactly in Power Virtual Agent team. We have someone who has insights, who basically influence in many things, and there are many things to talk about, Michael, but relevant to us, relevant to community. Most important is I know Michael from almost from two, maybe 1.5 or 2 years, and Michael is really encouraging and helpful to community. So really thanks, Michael. And this is Michael's joining us for this meeting is another proof, like how the way Michael encourage and try to support communities. This is a new community for us. I will very quickly, briefly share a couple of slides. First of all, thank you everyone, all volunteers, all participants, and of course, Michael, you are our speaker today. Just a few things. Basically, we are working in the areas of Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Pakistan, since these technologies, there are many people working, but as a community, we are trying to improve further and include people in this as a community so we can do better. Here are our connection details. We have this YouTube channel. Our group is on LinkedIn as well, and this is the URL for our meetup page. Please do join us if you have not joined before. And with that, I will hand over to Michael. Thank you so much, Michael. Over to you. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Thanks for the great intro and everything. So I will share my screen now. If that's all right.
Please.
Okay. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, Michael, we can see your slide.
Awesome. So let me just go to the slideshow. Cool. All right. Yeah. So thanks for the intro, Yaver. Excited to be here. Looking forward to sort of discussion and I have prepared is I have sort of some high overview deck about the integration between Power Virtual Agents and Dynamics 365 Omnichannel. I also have a few a demo prepared, so we will go through the product, see sort of how you can set it up, how does it work, and everything, and then we can sort of go into a section just to ask questions and everything. And I need to call out, I see that we have Diganta who joined. He's also from the Power Virtual Agents team. So we have another force of nature to answer any questions.
That's great. Thank you so much for introducing and welcome, Diganta. Really appreciate. I have probably we are connected and really great. We have two people from Microsoft today.
Hey, thank you, Mikhail. Thank you, everyone. Nice meeting you all.
So just a quick, I think Yaver already did the intro, so I just wanted to sort of share a little bit as well about my background. So I am PM on the Power Virtual Agents team. I actually work on the omnichannel integration very closely, but I also work on anything sort of related to licensing for PVA. So when we go into the question section, we can touch on that front as well. And just to call it that before Power Virtual Agents, I worked at Microsoft, at Skype and Microsoft, so always close to some conversational interfaces and experiences. So as I mentioned, just a quick overview. We will go through demo, ask me anything, and then I will just encourage some next steps here. So now just high level about these two products. So on a high level, right, Dynamics 365 Omnichannel sort of serves, and I think most of the folks on this call, based on your background, you already know this well, but I will just sort of go through this regardless. So Dynamics is or Omnichannel is an add-on, right, on customer service, which helps you or enables you to connect with your customers directly live, over multiple channels. It's a really great experience in the for the live agent sort of folks, right? And then Power Virtual Agents is a platform which it's a standalone platform that can be used, for building chatbots without needing to code. It's a SaaS service, and the combination of these two, sort of what it enables you to, is to have a chatbot front a conversation with a live agent, right? So if you use just Omnichannel, your agents might get overwhelmed with too many requests, right, from the customers, and so you would use Power Virtual Agents to sort of triage maybe some of the questions on its own. We see some great resolution rates just with the bot. So that's sort of some of the use cases, right? And so it is a first-party integration. So thanks to that, we sort of have the power to make it as simple as possible to set up, but also to use. So you don't have to. The setup is pretty straightforward, and we will go through that. And we are actually making big improvements into how do you set up Omnichannel plus Power Virtual Agents together. You can add the bot to work streams, to front all the conversation, as I mentioned. And then this is also very useful and important, is you can pass context between Power Virtual Agents and Omnichannel. And so, the Omnichannel agent, live agent, is always up to date as to what the bot has chatted about, and the user doesn't have to repeat the information they already talked to the bot. So just some quick capabilities before I switch to the demo. And by the way, if you have any questions, just feel free to, raise your hand or just ask as we go through this. I know we have a sort of ask questions at the beginning, at the end, but just if you have anything specific to where we are, just ask. And yeah, so as I mentioned, you can front the conversation with the live agent. The bot escalates to a human agent. We can pass context to a bot from Omnichannel. So you can, to start the conversation, you can sort of make the bot smarter and then pass the context back. And then there is multiple channels in Omnichannel where you can deploy the same bot, the same set of agents. With that being said, I'm gonna switch to the web experience, the browser, to sort of show the experience. And so I'm just gonna start by showing the end user experience, right? And so this is my portal that I created. But more importantly, I just embedded the chat widget from Omnichannel. And so I've configured some pre-conversation survey to show how we can pass the context from the chat widget to the bot so that the user don't have to repeat information. And so I'm just gonna here say, hey, what is my membership ID? I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4. And so here you can see that the virtual agent got back to me with some information. So I will just say, hey, I want to check my membership points. And so you can see here, I will get to it a little bit deeper, but you can see that sort of the bot recognizes what is the topic, right? Now, this is free form, right? So I could have typed anything, but the bot is able to sort of intent match it to a particular topic that I authored. And so here, for the checking the points balance, it already has the ID that I passed at the beginning. So I don't have to repeat myself, right? This information was already passed from Omnichannel to Power Virtual Agents. And now, I will just answer yes. Did I want to use this one? And so this, now there's, some further information. The bot pulls some info using Power Automate to get my exact balance. So there is also great integration between PVA and Power Automate that we can touch on as well. And then, the bot asks me, hey, what do you want to do now? So before I proceed, you can see that I have a couple of options for the user to do. The transfer to a different account. That will force me to talk to a human agent, because maybe it's a more complicated flow, right, which is not possible to easily automate, or I need some guidance from live agents to actually do that. So that if I select that will sort of escalate the conversation to the human agents, right? And so just before I do that, I will show the Omnichannel experience. So this is the Omnichannel. You can see I'm here logged in as an agent. There is some, status is very important. So I'm available. So if a conversation comes in from a bot, which is, configured to route to me, it will alert me here and I can chat with the user here. So now going back to the experience, I'm just gonna select this option. Okay, and so you can see here, sort of the human handoff was triggered. So an agent will be with you in a moment, and the bot is trying to get someone to help. So if we switch back to Omnichannel, you can see here, this is the request coming from the user. So I will just select it. I'll use that. You can see here as a live agent. So this is now view of me as a live agent helping the customer. You can see I see the full transcript history that the user had with the bot. So I don't need to repeat any sort of information that they might already provide it to the bot. I can just sort of catch up on that. You can also see some of the values, the pre-conversation survey and other variables that are pulled up here. And so in this case, I can just say, hey, I can help you with that. And this will be sent to the user, right? And now we can sort of close this conversation up. So this was sort of just showing what is possible, what is achievable with integrating these two products together. And now what I would like to do is just go to Power Virtual Agents and Omnichannel as a product and sort of show about how to make this happen. And if you already have tried it, actually this might be a good time to ask. I don't know how many of you have tried it yet to maybe connect PVA to Omnichannel. Or let's start with who just tried PVA before, Power Virtual Agents, who use it. Could you raise your hand in the Teams feature? I think there's this raise hand feature. Right, Javer did. Okay, so it seems like most folks didn't use Power Virtual Agents yet. So that's awesome. So we can actually spend some time going a little bit more about the fundamentals of Power Virtual Agents. And then how many of you folks are familiar with Omnichannel itself? Could you also raise your hand, please? If you sort of set it up before. Okay, I see Noor. Amna, okay. Okay, so more folks familiar with the Omnichannel, but also maybe not into the detail. Okay. So great. So actually, we have a we have a great deck talking about PVA, but I didn't have it pulled up because I wasn't expecting to sort of go into depth on this. But I will just sort of walk and talk over it without the deck. So as I mentioned at the beginning, right, the value add of Power Virtual Agents and why it's, we believe, so revolutionary in the space is because it's really easy and simple to get started with building bots. Just like Power Apps are changing the ways that people build apps because they've just really democratized the process. Power Virtual Agents do the same to building bots, right? And so previously, you would have to have teams, big teams of that would take care of building bots. You would have to have developers, right, writing the code itself. You would have to have subject matter experts who know what the bot should talk about, right? Who is the content, and then you have this situation where the bot is out of date because you need to update it, but then developers might be too busy on something else, right? And you need to get on their backlog, and so the content of the bot gets stale, right? So this is one of the most common issues that we see when it comes to chatbots, right? And Power Virtual Agents really addresses this as well as other issues. And so just how to think about Power Virtual Agents, right? So first, I will just try show you how to get started if you want to get started on your own, and after this session maybe play around and see how to get started. So if you just go to aka.ms/trypva, or if you just Google Power Virtual Agents, you can get to our marketing website, from where you can start free. So we have a viral trial sign up. So if you have a Microsoft account, you can just sign up for a trial for PVA. That's valid for 60 days. It can be extended, so you can sort of use that to play around and build your bots. Yeah, thanks Diganta for sending the link. And so then once you sign up, you will come into Power Virtual Agents, and you will create a bot, right? And then so the way how to think about a bot is the most important, or one of the most important pieces of that, the sort of the Lego building this up, is a topic, right? And so you could see that in the conversation that I had with the chatbot on the website, I was talking about transferring points to a different account. So you can see I have a topic for that, right? And then we will go into the topic, into the detail. There is a bunch of topics that come pre-built with the bot. So we call these system topics. So you can see they will sort of be highlighted by this different icon. And so there's topics like greeting, escalate, end of conversation, a bunch of others. And then I have also created some of my own topics. So those will be called user topics, and they are sort of have a different icon as well. And so then when you go and think about a topic, right, I would just go and click on one. Let's note this one, this one. So you can see that a topic, it has a name, of course. It also has, you can also configure some friendly name description. But more importantly, you have trigger phrases, right? And so these trigger phrases, that's what trains the model to understand where to front the question, right? So you can see here I have a bunch of trigger phrases like checkpoints, check my points balance, but there's no way I can sort of cover all of them, right? So what the bot does is, thanks to the AI that is built in, even if I write something kind of similar, it will know I'm asking about this topic, right? So I will just ask, check my points, right? It's not one of the options there, and so it will sort of funnel me into the topic. So you can see I also have sort of started track between topics. So this shows me as the bot progresses through the topics. It's really helpful when debugging. It shows me, hey, this is the topic that was triggered. This is where you are right now. And so you can see here, because now I'm not going through the Omnichannel canvas, right? So I didn't pass the context of my membership ID. So I have to pass that along. And then it will sort of return me back to the conversation. And so now here, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the topic. So, so here what you can see is we have a bunch of nodes that, sort of what we call nodes when you build a bot. And so you can see the trigger phrases here. You can see there is a message node, so sort of this just sends the message to the user, right? And then the bot asks the question. So this is where we are. And you can see it's very simple to sort of set it up, right? You just have hey, ask a question. This uses the variable, the membership ID. So you can see this is sort of the variable context. I will show to how to set it up in a moment. And then there is the question sort of looks for some options, so you can use multiple choice options, but we also have, you know, a free form question, so you could ask for age, right? So you can specify, hey, I'm looking for age, color, duration, email, anything, right? We have these smart entities that are pre-built that will actually smartly look up what the customer is answering. And so if you select email as an example, right? And I answer as, hey, my email is, you know, mivakoc@microsoft.com. It will just extract that email part of my response so that I can use that as a variable. And I see there's some discussion in the conversation. So
Mikhail, there's a question here.
Yes.
So the question is, can we connect a non-PVA bot like Azure Bot Framework or Amazon bot with Omnichannel? So that's the first question.
Got it. Okay. Yes. So the answer is yes. You can use any Azure Bot Framework bot to connect to Omnichannel. When we go into the Omnichannel section, I can show you how to get it done or how you can do that. It's the setup is very similar to what you would do with Power Virtual Agents. Just you wouldn't use Power Virtual Agents, of course, to author the bot, right? You would use it. You would use the SDK from Azure Bot Framework. I don't think you can use Lex or, you know, non-Azure Bot Framework bots for that.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is, can a bot use resources from CRM or PVA? I guess can you please explain the question a bit? So this, are you talking about Azure bot framework bot integrating with PVA and CRM? Has feel free to come off mute.
Yeah, or you can also elaborate in the chat. Yeah, maybe I see a next question there. So from Amna. Right, I think that's actually the same question.
Hello. Yeah, it is possible, and data it's catered from CRM.
Got it. Yeah. So I was wondering if the second question is sort of. Oh yeah, sorry, Amna. I didn't realize you were answering that question. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And yeah, so the resources, I guess, I don't know if that's a question on sort of the entities or variables.
Maybe Hus, if you please can feel free if you wanna clarify on mic or in chat. But I'm assuming maybe that is about memory resources or dataverse sort of resources. But please feel free to feel free to explain if you wanna add something.
Okay. Yeah, so let's just maybe let's just continue with the demo for now, and then we can come back to the question. And so yeah, so then just going back here, right? You can build this chatbot. So the dialogue, sort of the branching, you can see there is some great branching of how the conversation can continue, depending on what I answer. So in this case, right, I answered yes. In the previous case, in the demo that I showed. And so what you can see here, this is a really sort of favorite feature of PVA because the bot is not just static text, right? But it can also call some actions and it can do something on behalf of the customer. And so in this case, I'm actually calling Power Automate to retrieve a membership points balance of this user based on the supplied membership ID. Right, so there is a Power Automate that I built, and that returns an output as well of the membership points, and then I can display that to the customer back so that they have this information as they continue building the bot. Okay, so that's about topics and sort of how you get started and how you build that. There is way more into that, but I will continue sort of with the other Power Virtual Agents capabilities so that we stay on track. So I mentioned entities. So this is sort of the entities that we showed. You know, the email, for example. You can sort of see here the examples that I was also mentioning as well. Like, hey, if you input, you know, my email is user@site.net, it will just extract the email value, right? And so what is cool here is actually you can also build your own custom entities. And so you can, you know, name it, you can build something, you know, items with synonyms. So if you wanna, this is great when you wanna use it, for example, as like a branch name, right? So you can, let's say you have a topic with asking about store hours, right? And so you could ask, you could have stores in Redmond, you could have stores in Bellevue, you could have stores in Seattle. And so then this entity particular would contain only these values and look sort of for answers in these options. And there's going to be a free form for the user, but it's always going to look for a value. And if I make a small typo, it will correct and still, you know, tie to the Seattle. And I could also enter some synonyms, right? So Seattle, I could also just use, I don't know, Emerald City as sort of the synonym, right? So, and if the customer says Emerald City, it will actually know that this is a Seattle. This is a question about Seattle. I'm just going to close that. I'm not going to save it. So then going further down here on the menu, we can see we have analytics. So this is a very powerful feature of PVA where out of the box, the bot comes with pre-built analytics. And so you can see a lot of insight into it right out of the box, right? You don't have to, you can build your own custom analytics if you want to, and we have some blogs for that, and we can share links if that's something you're interested in. But you can also just use these out of the box, which already have a lot of goodness pre-built, right? So you can see how many sessions there were in total, what is the engagement rate, so how many people actually, there is some, like how many people actually chatted with the bot about some user topic, right? Didn't just say hi, right? So that's an important thing. You can see resolution rate, so how many of the questions were answered by the bot. You can see escalation rate, so how many of these questions resulted in user escalating to a live agent hub, right? For example, Omnichannel. And then you can see abandon rate. So abandon rate is, you know, the user just sort of left midway. They got disengaged and they probably didn't find an answer to their question. And so there is then a bunch of other analytics features. You can see overlap detection, topic suggestion. These are new preview features from our AI group. Really cool, and I would encourage you to sort of discover these. But I'm going to continue. And so you can see customer satisfaction. So, you know, we go deep into, hey, which topics are driving customer satisfaction up, which are driving down. You can go to sessions, download all the transcripts from here. You can also do that from Dataverse directly, so that you can see what are the customers actually chatting about with the bot and what exactly, you know, maybe you get some insight into how you can improve your bot. And then last but not least, you can see how many of these sessions sort of resulted in a build session, which if you were not on trial, it would be the paid sort of capacity. So that was really fast about analytics. You can then go to, you know, publish your bot. So that's sort of in conjunction with channels. So when we have a bunch of channels where you can publish the bot. Now, in this case, in Omnichannel case, you don't actually need to use this. If you want to use PVA with Omnichannel, you would do that through settings. So I'm going to show that as well in a bit. And then there is a bunch of other features that I won't go into details, but I would just encourage you to sort of again use that link that Diganta shared at the beginning, ak.ms/PVA, sign up and try it out. So now going back to sort of the topic of Power Virtual Agents plus Omnichannel, right? This was sort of the very quick, I realize, overview about Omnichannel, about Power Virtual Agents. There is way more that we didn't explore, but we gotta keep on up to base. So now, if I want to connect this bot to an Omnichannel Hub, how do I do that, right? So we actually built, again, as I mentioned, this is a first-party integration. So we built a bunch of entry points directly into the product, so that when you go, we have a transfer to agent setting, where you can go and you can go for a guided wizard, just a few steps, no code required, just a configuration, and you are able to set up an Omnichannel Hub connection. And so in this case, I already went through that process, so I'm not gonna go through it. But if you go through the wizard, this is where you will end. And you can, you have a quick visibility into which CRM environment this bot is connected to. You have some deep links into just going into Omnichannel to start making edits and sort of working with this bot in Omnichannel and continue and finish that setup. And then another important piece that I didn't talk about yet in Power Virtual Agents is when you actually want to set up the live agent handoff, you will need to use something what we call transfer to agent. And so this transfer to agent hub node is going to invoke that transfer into Omnichannel. And so let me delete it and just show you how to edit. So if I'm here in the authoring experience, there is an end conversation. I can just transfer to agent, which will add the node. As you can see, there is a bunch of other nodes, which some of them we already saw. So like you can call action, right? That will allow you to see all the Power Automate flows that you have in that environment. It also allows you to use skills. So skills is if you want to use Azure Bot Framework with Power Virtual Agents, you can import it as a skill, and that would show up here as well. But yeah, just for transfer to agent, you would go here, select transfer to agent. You can enter internal message, so private message to the user. So you can just say, user wants to talk with human agent. That will be displayed to the live agent in Omnichannel. And so I'm just gonna pause here and see any questions there. I see Diganta, thanks for fielding these. Any other questions? If anybody wants to unmute or go ahead, just go ahead again. Yeah. Okay. So now going into into Omnichannel. So this is the Omnichannel administration hub, and so you can see there is a bunch of concepts that we need to sort of wrap our head around before we get started, right? And this is sort of one of those times when Omnichannel has actually the team has worked on a new Omnichannel hub, and so there is a new experience which simplifies a lot of these things. And we will talk about it a little bit as well, but I will show this sort of with the current experience as the new experience is rolling out just now and will take a couple of months to reach everyone. And so what you can see here is I can see the users, and so I will be able to see the PVA chatbot as a user here after I edit it. So let's see if it loads all right. Yeah. So you can see here, I sort of have all the Omnichannel users, right? So I have some human agents, those are my accounts, but I also have some bots. There's multiple ways how you can tell it's a bot, but one of the easiest is that out of the box it just has a 2 billion capacity, so it can handle really a lot of requests, as you can tell. So there's sort of no limit on number of conversation that the bot can handle. And so you can see that I actually have a bunch of bots here already added. Now, when I have the bot, right, what I really need to do is I actually need to add it to a work stream, right? And so that work stream, it's always connected to a chat or a channel, right? So if we start from the top, we go to chat. So this chat that's the live chat experience that I was showing here. This is the channel. If you want to put it on your website, you would use chat, right? But you can also use SMS, you can use Facebook, you can use WhatsApp, any of these channels, right? And so here, but in this case, we will be setting up chat. And so I'm gonna go here into the context demo. And so in this context demo, you can see here, for example, this is sort of the code snippet that you would use to embed on your website if you want to add that chat widget. And then there is a whole, slew of settings that you can set, right? So you can choose if you want to enable attachments, if you want to enable surveys. So there's a bunch of surveys. You can see here, this is the one that I have had set up. So membership ID was your membership ID, and that will be passed into Power Virtual Agents. And what is important as well, though, is that here you will see the work distribution, right? And so every chat is connected to a work stream. And so if I now click on this work stream, this is the work stream that is connected to this particular chat. And you can see that all work streams, among the other things which are important for us, has routing rules, right? And so in these routing rules, you can see that this is a very basic sort of setup. But on the very basic level, all you have to do to add a chatbot to the Omnichannel Hub and make sure that it sort of routes the conversation correctly is that to have these two rules, right? Route to bot and route to human. And these routing rules are actually pretty simple. You can see here that the condition is based on a variable which either has value or doesn't have value, right? And so in this case, we are checking, hey, does this context variable, VA scope, which is passed from the chatbot. So again, it's using the same sort of context passing into the user. If it does not contain data, then just route it to the bot queue, right? So in this case, you will route it to the bot queue, and the chatbot will sort of handle the conversation. Now, if, however, that variable contains data, then it will just go to the human queue, right? Or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if human queue is the best name, but that's what I call it. And so it will just go to the live agent, and I will see that as a live agent in my user interface. Yeah, so this is sort of about the setup in Omnichannel. I'm not sure about if there are any questions about this in particular. I see there is a great continuation of discussion with Amna and Hans. So thanks, Diganta, for fielding that. So there are no other questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you questions like, can you elaborate some more about details for Omnichannel, like new features that we have in Omnichannel?
Right. Yes. So I think you're getting at to the new Omnichannel Hub admin center, right? So that's one of the. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Continue, please.
Yes. So this now the Omnichannel team, right, which I work very closely. But I just a disclaimer that I'm not from the Omnichannel team, so I'm just working closely with them. So I don't know. I'm not the best expert to sort of answer these questions, but I can sort of show the basics, all right? And so what is really important, and I will talk about the pieces that are related to chatbots, is that the setup is very much easier in the new Omnichannel Live Agent Hub, right? And so number one, what is built in and what is very nice and simple is the first run experience. And so in the first run experience, you can come here to the homepage and you can open a chat demo. And so you can see how the demo works or how, what can I do with Omnichannel, right? And so before you were sort of just dumped into Omnichannel and be like, hey, swim and figure it out, right? And so the Omnichannel team has done a really phenomenal job of improving this experience. And so what you can see here is sort of a guided experience talking about, hey, this is sort of the steps you will need to do to see things. And then you have this Let's Chat button, right? So this Let's Chat button, that's the same chat widget that I was showing you on that portal just a moment ago. And so what you can see here is actually, by default, there is a chatbot created. So there is a PVA chatbot created for you that has pre-built content, which you can edit if you want. And so I'm gonna just go here and I'm gonna say, actually just gonna say transfer to agent right away. Oh. And you see, sometimes the bot doesn't understand. So I'm just gonna type back something easier. Yeah, and so what you can see here is an agent will be with you at any moment. And so if we switch to my live chat view, you can see here, this is another chat sort of coming right from there. So you can see here, just talk to a human, and it sort of comes to me here. And I can answer again.
Great. So we can see that like we are having a seamless transition between the portal and the Omnichannel itself.
Right, and I think that the most sort of, the greatest thing I would say here is that it's very easy to get started, right? So all you need to do is you go to Omnichannel, you go to the home tab, you say, open chat demo or edit chat demo, and you will get this provision on your behalf, right? You will get this provision for yourself. And so then when you go to work streams, for example, in the new admin experience, and you go to the work stream, right? What you will see is, you will see that there is already the bot edit, right? And all the routing rules that I was explaining and sort of going into the deep detail, this is done for you, right? So you don't have to do it.
That's great.
And
thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. And on top of that, what I'm really excited about is we also did update our business model. And so when you buy, or the customer buys Omnichannel licenses, they get 1,000 sessions for Power Virtual Agents as part of that subscription, right? So straight out of the box, they are even licensed to use Power Virtual Agents and build these bots.
That's really awesome.
Yes, we are excited about it.
Michael, what do you mean by 1,000 sessions?
Right. So for that, I need to go to sort of Power Virtual Agents. So the way how PVA is licensed, it's by sessions. And so if you go, this is our marketing website, and so this is our standard like SKU, which has for $1,000 you get 2,000 sessions. So if you buy an Omnichannel license, you get 1,000 sessions as part of that Omnichannel license already.
By a session mean when I as a public user will initiate a chat on the portal, so that is a one session, right?
Correct. Yes. So it's the end user chatting with the bot, and now there is some caveat. Like for example, if all I say to the bot is hi,
yeah,
that's not counted as a build session, because that we didn't provide a value, right? And so we have examples in our documentation on when exactly you pay, but not all sessions will be built, right? Because we only if there was some longer interaction between the bodies, that's when you will sort of have to pay for the interaction.
Okay, and after this 2,000 session, is there per session licensing cost or what? Or what's the costing model for it?
Yeah. So then if you exhaust these 1000 sessions, you can buy the PVA session add-on. So this is sort of a standalone license where you can just top up the PVA sessions if needed.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. And so just to circle back, right, and fully sort of circle to what I was showing before, is this is the value that you will see here in billing. You will see the number of the build sessions that your bot is actually using, so that you can understand, out of the purchase amount that you have, this is how much you have actually used.
Michael, I want to ask a question. For PVA integration or using PVA bots with Omnichannel, basically, do bots need to be in same environment or they can be in different environments as well?
Great question. It can be different environment.
Right. And can we, for example, if they are in different tenants as well, will Omnichannel support that scenario as well, or it is something not have been experimented yet?
No, so it has to be the same tenant,
Okay,
but it can be a different environment.
sure. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, so this is actually all from the demo that I wanted to share. So I hope that was helpful. I know it was a lot of information. So again, would just sort of encourage you to go and try for yourself, but also I have put in some links, and we can Yaver, maybe we can work together to sort of send it out just so that folks are, or we can just, I can paste it into the chat.
Sure.
There is a great docs to sort of talk about this in very detail, so you can sort of go through the steps again. Or Kent Veer from our PowerCat team, he has actually recorded a great video of going through this step by step, and so we have a video for that as well that you can follow at your own pace and own leisure to know how to connect that. And yeah, that's actually all that I had prepared for today. So if there are any further questions, or we can just keep it as sort of a easy discussion. And thank you, Diganta, for answering all the questions in the chat. I don't know if there is anything that we need to close on.
I think yeah, of course, man. I think I've covered almost all of them. But if I have not covered, please feel free to chime in.
One thing Diganta have mentioned here, PVA is a SaaS offering and stores your board data in your Dataverse, also known as CDS Lite. So this is specific to omni-channel configurations, right?
So no, that's not true. So Dataverse is a platform where the PVA is built on top of. So like when you create a Power Apps PVA and a Power Automate flow, they get stored in the customer's Dataverse environment, right?
Yep.
So what I was referring there is the question was that if I create a bot, how do I access those bot information? So if you create a bot, all the bot information related to that will live in Dataverse. And there are three basically tables. One is chatbot, the second one is chatbot subcomponent, and the third one is conversation transcripts. So those tables basically contain all your bot data in that environment. Regarding Omnichannel, Mikhail, do you know what level of data they are storing in Dataverse, or do they store it in customer Dataverse environment, or?
I wouldn't be able to answer that question.
Right. That's
yeah.
something we can follow up.
We can follow up on it. I just wanted to sort of show what Diganta was talking about. So when you go to Power Apps and you sort of explore tables, the data available in your Dataverse environment. So what you can see here is you will see the chatbot component, you will see the chat transcript. I think somewhere here, conversation transcript. So you can see all these components in your Dataverse, and you can export these. Yeah. I don't know, Diganta, if there's anything particular you want me to show or.
No, this is awesome. So these 3 tables, I mean, there are customers who wants to light up additional use cases. For example, you want to sort of query how many chatbots are in your in that environment. You want some visibility. You want to run some reports, and to light up all those. And you want access to your bot data in your environment, right? So so we create all that in your environment so that you have full access to that data, including conversation transcripts.
Yep. And so this is just showing like real easy how it is to see all the chatbots, right? The list of chatbots, yeah, in your environment. And who created it, who modified, everything, yeah.
And one more thing it might be useful to mention is between bot and bot components, it's a one-to-many relationship. So a bot can have many components, and the subcomponents means components like topics, entities. So if you go to chatbot subcomponent table, you will see all the content, including topics, entities, listed there. And they have a foreign key relationship between them, which connects the bot with those subcomponents of the bot.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Any other questions, or let me send the links that I was talking about. So I'll just paste that into the chat so the post can get started. It's a little bigger text. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, Yaver, if we want to hang around for a little longer, or.
Michael, do you want to send those links, or?
Oh, I just sent it.
Okay.
Do you not see it?
Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah, got it now.
Okay.
And please feel free. I will request all audience, if there are any more questions. We still have maybe 1 or 2 minutes left in our meeting. Please feel free if you want to ask something. That will be probably our last questions. Yeah, it looks like we have attended all questions for now. And in that case, I will say thanks to all attendees, and more importantly, and really thanks to Michael and Diganta. Really appreciate your appearance. So nice of you. It was great to have you. And thanks everyone. Amna, I will like to thank all attendees wherever you have joined us from. And it is really, I mean, amazing. We have people from a small group, but from different countries: Noor, Nazir, Nadir, uh, Miani, Hos, and Amna Abdullah. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate, and hope we will catch up again. And this video recording will be available in a couple of days on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Thanks, Michael. So nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Yaver. Thanks, everyone. It's great chatting today. It was great catching up.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good day.
Thanks.